Well, when we talk about weight loss drugs, we usually think of people, not pets, but a new clinical trial led by Cornell University is testing GLP-1 implants in cats. It's a first of its kind approach to help pets struggling with obesity. So what does this mean for our four-legged feline family members? And could these treatments actually be safe and effective? Dr. Brett Cordes, better known as Brett the Vet from Arizona Animal Hospital, is here with more. Okay, so, GLP-1 drugs, they've been around for decades now, right?
A long time.
Who would have thought that that would parlay into pets?
What we've known for a long time the history of that drug, which, by the way, was invented by a local iconic Arizona. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
The Gila monster.
What?
Yeah, do your homework. It's really cool. The saliva of the Gila monster is where the origin of this drug came from, for people and for pets.
Oh, that is so fascinating.
So naturally, it's kind of a safe drug, and what some of the research done prior to human work is usually done on animals as well, and we sort of find it to be pretty safe.
Yeah, okay, that's so interesting. So I was reading that 61% of cats that were evaluated in the US were apparently either overweight or obese. So is that why the GLP-1 drugs are being tested on cats versus dogs?
You bet. Some pharmaceutical companies are looking at this as a great opportunity. That translates into 60 million overweight cats in this country.
Wow.
And most of these cats are inside, they're sedentary, they're eating, they're getting 3 square meals a day.
Right.
They don't have to
it's
go
not like
work.
You can walk them.
Yeah, no, and they don't have to work for their food like, a cat in the wild. So they just kind of lounge around and gain weight.
That's why it's such a big issue with them. So, we always hear about side effects with adults, right? There's stomach paralysis, there's, a list of things, but there's also good things in, these GLP-1s with people. For cats, though, for animals, what could possibly be side effects? Is it kind of the same?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. These two companies that are trying to get these drugs to market, one of them is an implantable device, the other one's an injectable. I think the cats would tolerate the injections better than giving a pill. Have you ever tried to do that? It ruins the relationship between you and your cat.
Yeah.
So I would say that side effects are probably, the benefits are probably going to outweigh the risk. If we see these overweight cats, what happens is we get diabetes, heart disease, and diabetes requires 2 injections with needles a day. So I would tell you that knowing that this drug is kind of a hormone, very similar to something that's already existing in our body today, to me it seems pretty safe. And those side effects that people see eventually seem to be pretty well tolerated in people, and I think the same could be said for cats. So we're ambitious to have something new than just the old standby diet and exercise. I think having this is going to be helpful.
Okay, so again, these are clinical trials. We still have to, see, but how long do you think that these would take?
Oh, these drug companies they're ambitious. They like to say 2-3 years, but sometimes never. In the meantime, we're already using these drugs, what's called off-label. So we're using these drugs off-label in horses, dogs, and cats. Off-label means it's not FDA approved for use in dogs or cats, but...
Which is also, that can be a concern too, though.
It can be if you can't verify the quality of the product you're sourcing, if it's from a compounded pharmacy, or just like fentanyl can be legitimate in the hospital use, or it can be found on the street corner, so to speak. So compounded pharmaceuticals, you have to know if you are going to use those, or if you have the veterinarian uses it, you're consenting, knowing that they're not FDA approved, and hopefully being able to verify the quality of the product, which in this case should be the human product that we're using on ourselves.
And real quick, after this clinical trial with the cats, I mean, dogs are next.
Dogs are drafted in right behind. I think the cats are something that they're starting with the cats, and dogs might be a different story.
All right, very interesting. Okay, we'll learn more as it progresses. Thank you so much, Brett. Great to have you.